Welcome, Erin, to McDonald's land.
Is that you, Olive Dog?
Of course it's me. And all your other friends, too.
And when you're down here with me, you float through!
Hey everyone, welcome to Erin Explains. And today we're asking the question, McDonald's, was it better in the 90s? What do you think?
Let's start with some of the things that you remember in terms of the McDonald's menu in the 1990s.
Okay.
What sticks out to you?
My favorite thing, and God knows how this would have told it to my taste buds today, but it was the McPizza.
McPizza.
I loved McPizza.
And it was in like a box that was supposed to keep it crisp.
Yes. Well, I don't know about that. It kept it warm, but it was like a personal pizza.
I think that you're nuts. Like that's the number one thing. When you could get far superior pizza in many other locations.
But I couldn't get it through a drive-through window.
That was the key.
That was the novelty.
Can I mention the fact that you don't drive and have never driven?
No, but I would be in the back seat.
Oh, okay. All right.
And I'd say, hey, can I get a McPizza?
I liked the McDLT.
Hey, you say you're getting tired of lettuce and tomato hamburgers in this town that don't quite make it? Yeah!
Which was the hot side hot and the cold side cold.
Right.
So all the lettuce and tomato was on the one side, and then the other side was the hamburger.
Okay.
And then when you would order it, it came in a giant styrofoam container. You'd open the container and take the cold side and put it on the hot, and then you'd eat it. Never was a fan of the McRib, which they sometimes bring back every once in a while, but I think originated in the 80s.
Yeah.
Other things that they had, this is the reality that back then everything was a sandwich on a bun. You know, it was the fillet of fish, it was the cheeseburger, the hamburger, the Big Mac, the quarter pounder, the McChicken. Well, that's what McDonald's
was known for. It was a hamburger place first and foremost, and so everything was a variation of that.
Yes, I looked at today's menu.
Yeah.
And I call it the tyranny of the wrap.
Yeah.
Because half of the things in McDonald's menu are now wraps.
So it's a wraptocracy.
It's a wraptocracy. Yes, everything is a wrap.
Yeah.
They still have the basic hamburgers and Big Mac and whatever.
Or bagel. There's a lot of bagels.
There's a lot of bagels.
It
just doesn't make any sense.
And chicken wraps.
The sesame seed bun is not a thing so much anymore.
No.
Yeah. It is somewhat disappointing. It's kind of like the disappointment between the original deep fried apple pie, and then in the 90s they brought in the baked pie.
Right.
Which, I think it was mid-90s, maybe 1995. They brought in the baked pie, which is, I guess, was because of the fat content of the previous pie, but it still was pastry, so I don't really know.
Yeah, and that was before they were really doing their health. The health kit came, because Super Size Me was something that came about from the 90s. You could supersize, everything was gigantic.
Exactly.
Until 2004 when Morgan Spurlock made that movie that shamed them within a month of that movie coming out to pull the supersize thing and start on this process of making their food healthy. I would argue it's just less unhealthy.
Yes.
But it doesn't actually qualify as healthy.
I think it depends on what you eat, but you was still at any point in time in the history of McDonald's. If you were eating certain items, it's relatively healthy. As long as you take the fries out of the equation, it's not so. And the mayo and those kind of special sauces.
The stuff that gives it
yes,
flavor.
I know. But if you're having, and the cheese, if you're having a regular hamburger,
I'm sure the lettuce is still 90% water, like normal lettuce is. But and tomatoes, I'm sure they're fine too. But that's not why you go to McDonald's. It's not for a healthy meal.
No, you go there, and that's why another problem with McDonald's today, unlike in the 90s, is the fact that in the 90s it was sort of like bright colored. Again, it goes with the characters you're talking about and the red roof
Playland world.
And the Playland and all this kind of stuff. And then now it's, I think the term is millennial gray.
Yeah.
Like everything about McDonald's is gray. It's very boxy. It doesn't even have the iconic roof.
Yeah. They look completely different.
They look completely. They're very boxy.
Yeah.
And then the sign, the big Golden Arches sign, very few of those exist anymore.
Really?
Yes, yeah. It's
wow.
And with the ordering through the computer, I mean, they're not bright colored interactive machines. They're very stark gray.
Oh, those things that they look like the map you'd at a mall.
Yes,
that
and
tells you where you're going to go.
The
Except
touch
it's
screen.
interactive, right? Instead.
Yes. I mean,
dealing
and
with a human being.
they have their value menu. They have the classic things, but the idea of sitting in a McDonald's and eating is much more like almost like sitting in an office and eating. Whereas in the past, they'd have the little hamburger stools and the areas where they'd have like a birthday party for children.
It was a fun place, at least for a kid to go.
Then there was another
maybe for an
90s
adult.
thing is the birthday party with the very specific vanilla cake.
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah,
this,
it's
but I
very
did do birthdays
specific.
there,
Yeah,
so.
it's a hamburger, cheeseburger, orange drink, vanilla cake.
Okay.
That's the.
I do remember the orange drink. The orange drink, we would get that for like participation day.
Yes.
At school, field day.
Yes, in a
And you'd have
big
the
yellow container.
Yes, and that stuff was. It's not orange. It's not
No.
like orange juice.
No.
But it's not orange pop.
No.
It's some sort of.
It's not sparkly.
No, it's
No.
some sort of orange flavored slurry that they've come up with that was delicious.
Yes, and now McDonald's has to have be a coffee shop as well.
Yes, there's 8 bazillion different types of coffee you can get. It's not the old
Exactly.
days where you go in and just
That's
get a
the
coffee
one-
in a white paper cup or whatever.
Yes, exactly,
No, now you're
exactly.
getting cappuccinos and lattes and
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really, I think the difference is that McDonald's in the 1990s, and I think that this book Fast Food Nation, which kind of talked about how sort of the history of America, you can and like tracking it through the development of fast food, really through road systems being developed,
Right.
and then the idea of a restaurant allowing people who were lower middle class, working class, an opportunity to be able to go to a restaurant. It's not just for like wealthy people, etc. And the book sort of tracks this whole history, and then all of the infrastructure that has to be created in order to fuel the rise of fast food,
Right.
be it large scale factory farming, etc. These kinds of things. And one of the big things that it talks about is the idea of the family fast food restaurant experience of like going in, sitting down as a family, eating as a family. Whereas I think that now you're much more likely to see McDonald's restaurants with the 24 hours a day drive-through service, that people are picking up things and they're eating it alone.
yeah, in their car.
On
the go.
Whereas in the 90s, the idea of a 24-hour
Yeah, well,
drive-through
unheard of.
McDonald's was completely unheard
Unheard
of.
of, yeah.
Absolutely unheard of.
It's interesting to see the way they change. Like, it makes sense. A business has to change. It's
Yes.
like they
Yes.
cannot stay the
Yes,
same.
absolutely.
But the McDonald's brand, and this kind of goes back to what I was saying about how we think of it as when we were kids, as this thing, and it always existed this way. It's up there with like Coca-Cola as an American brand.
Yes.
This perennial thing that exists unchanged. And it's never been that way.
No.
Why? Isn't that McDonald's hamburger delicious?
Mom told me never to talk to strangers.
Well, your mother's right as always, but
When you're down here.
It only came about in the 50s. It didn't start to become popular, nationalized until the early 60s.
Yes.
It's changed enormously over that time, and yet we still have this expectation that, it's this, like, it's comfort food. That's what
It's
fast
comfort food,
is.
and so you want it to be the same thing
Exactly.
every
And yet
time.
it's never been that way.
No.
It has changed
No.
enormously in every decade.
Beef tallow fries, vegetable oil fries,
yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, now they have just introduced a veggie burger,
Right.
Which is not one of those
not a
Beyond,
Beyond
Meat
Meat
type of
thing, no.
things. It's a actually vegetable
Yeah.
veggie burger.
Yeah.
Vegetarian friends seem to be pleased with this. I mean, there are these kinds of things, but what it has lost, I think, in recent decades is that idea of it being a restaurant.
Yeah.
Now it's sort of is like a fast food service provider.
Right.
where
Well, they're trying to actually change that.
they're trying to change that.
Part of the issue that I had with the newer menu is its price, which is insanely expensive
Oh, yes?
for what you would normally think is cheap fast food. They did get rid of their value menu at some point, just coming out of the pandemic. They have since reintroduced one,
it.
but it's very, very small. Most of these items are quite expensive for what you expect
and
of a
now they
fast
have
food.
the international items in order to try to play off
That's
this
just it.
reality.
They're now
that-
targeting an adult market rather than the kids, as McDonald's had always been the kids, and adults kind of go
Yeah.
along, or it's a place to be a kid when you are an adult. Now they are specifically targeting
Yes.
adults. But
That's true.
Yeah, it's this weird, like adults who would normally go to a restaurant and eat real food. This is for them to have something that simulates real food on the go. I don't know. It's an odd change that they're making from the classic brand.
Yeah, but I do think that it reflects this kind of like shift into, you know, the whole loneliness kind of epidemic type of thing where people are more likely, like I cannot remember a time in the past 15 to 20 years that I have been at McDonald's with someone else other than myself.
Okay.
Like, you know, go and get couple hamburgers
But seeing
and a
somebody
Diet
sitting
Coke.
alone in a McDonald's is like the most depressing
Yes.
thing in the world.
Yes, but
that might be
that's-
why they don't want people in the restaurant anymore.
Maybe that's why they're, because definitely
Go home and
yes.
be alone on your own time.
Yes.
Don't do it. Don't
Yes.
draw attention because it puts other people off
Because
their
there
meal.
used to be also much more space in the restaurants,
Yeah.
much more seating in the restaurants.
Yeah.
Now it's all taken up with the ordering space.
Right.
You know, and you also don't end up having a conversation with the person behind the counter where you're asking for something and at least having that small interaction.
Right.
The interaction is through a computer screen, and then you just pick up the item and leave.
Right.
Or your Uber Eats driver
Right.
picks up your item and leaves. And that's one of the things that I also, you know, 90s versus now. The whole idea to me of fast food is that it's fast for people to make it, but you have to eat it relatively quickly because, you know, it's only good
Yeah, well,
when
it's not
it's when
designed
it's
to
fresh.
last.
It's not
Yeah.
designed to last.
Yeah.
And so therefore when you order from an Uber Eats or whatever diet, any
that
of those
seems insane
services,
to me, to order-
and then you receive it, which I have done on a couple of occasions during the pandemic.
Okay. All right.
And it was terrible because it's not meant to be eaten like,
Yeah.
at least in my mind, it's not meant to be eaten
Because
like
he's
that.
dropped off like 6 other orders on the way
Yes.
to your house, and it's stone
Yes.
cold and you
Yes.
can't heat that up in a microwave.
So I don't understand that. To me, I want to take it while it's hot and
Yeah.
eat it while it's
Yeah.
hot. I don't want it delivered to me.
Yeah.
It's not like a pizza that can like sort of maintain its heat or just
real
be-
food, just real
or
food
real
from a real
food
restaurant.
from a real
that
restaurant.
Even if it shows up a little cold,
Exactly.
you can warm it up in the oven.
You can warm it up in the oven. You can't
Yeah.
really do that with a McDonald's
No, absolutely
meal
not. You
or
can't do
any
that.
kind of fast
No,
food.
Taco Bell
Really
doesn't work that
Yes.
way.
No,
Yes, none
absolutely,
of them do.
absolutely. So, I mean, I feel like this kind of, I don't know, maybe McDonald's is like a microcosm for larger things.
I think so.
With regards to looking at these items that we see on the menu in the 90s and the way we think about McDonald's in the 90s, we see it as this place that had kind of this cornucopia of foods. They probably have more range now.
No.
They
No,
don't.
they don't.
They
They do
don't?
not. They had like up to 200 items on their menu.
Oh, really?
I think coming out of the 90s, in the early aughts. And then whoever the guy was who took over massively slashed
Massively.
that. Maybe they're starting to climb
Okay.
up. But I mean, they're all variations on a wrap.
Yes,
a
they
chicken
are.
wrap or variations on a bagel thing. Yeah, some of the things I wrote down from the 90s were Mighty Wings, chicken fajitas, catfish sandwiches, mixed spaghetti,
Yes, I think I remember
mixed
that.
stuffings.
They had a hot dog.
Yes, the hot dog, McLobster,
I remember that.
McPizza, of course, the supersize, and versus now where it's all it's bagels and chicken wraps and a few of their classic, the burgers. But yeah, I kind of thought it was it's overpriced items. It's a tiny value meal. It's really the difference between a menu during the fast food wars of the 90s, which we heard about in the classic film Demolition Man.
You do not realize that Taco Bell was the only restaurant to survive the franchise wars.
So?
So, now all restaurants are Taco Bell.
No way.
And so you had the menu in the 90s there during the fast food wars where it's lots of competition. So we're going to try out all these different things. We don't know who we are. We don't what our identity is, everything. Yeah. Literally throwing spaghetti at the wall.
Yeah.
Versus what we have now, which is menu during late stage capitalism.
Yes.
Which is just overpriced.
Yeah.
For the few people still in the middle class, can take out a loan so they can go and get a wrap from McDonald's. And to me, that's the difference between it was an unhealthy but expansive menu versus a less unhealthy but expensive menu now. And that's really, it's not a good trend, I don't think, if it's symbolizing late stage capitalism.
No, and I feel that the graying of McDonald's as well demonstrates
that's part of it.
Yeah, there's no, it's not meant to be a place that
it's not a family friendly place.
No, it's not a family friendly place.
They don't want dirty kids with sticky fingers. Everything was sticky in the McDonald's in the 80s and 90s.
Yes.
And they don't want that now. No. They want people looking nice and dressing up to come to a fucking McDonald's. It's
So was McDonald's better in the 90s?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
That's our vote. But let's hear what you have to say. Leave your vote below. Let us know. Favorite items.
Maybe you love wraps.
Maybe you're all over. Do they have a bagel wrap? A chicken bagel wrap?
I don't know.
Coffee flavored chicken bagel wrap. Leave a comment, like, subscribe. Let us know what you think.
Is there anything else that you think was better in the 90s or worse in the 90s?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of things that was freaking worse in the 90s.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I guess relative.
Relative.
I don't know. Right now seems like a particularly dark time.
Exactly.
Even the worst of the 90s still seems better, but let us know. Maybe we're wrong. Okay.
Yes.
See you next week.